Hello, everyone, and welcome to Down Bad, the self-help podcast where I, Jodi Johnson, talk about everything mental health related, from the challenges that we face to the celebrations that take place. On the show, I use my vulnerability in hopes that the more we as humans talk, share, and work together, the more we make mental health care accessible and acceptable for every single human being out there. This journey is yours and no one else's. Not your mom's, your dad's, your siblings, your significant others, your neighbors, no one's. It's yours every single step of the way. So thanks for being here and staying true to yourself, even in times of uncertainty and discomfort. New episodes release every Thursday. I really loved iced coffee. But anyways, hello everyone and welcome back. Since it's ADHD Awareness Month, I wanted to talk to you guys about something that I've personally struggled with my entire life, which has affected my mental health and my overall well-being. I've always struggled with inattention and hyperactivity, and I really like where I'm at in my life right now. I love who I am as a person, so obviously these two things have helped me in a way, but along the journey here, they have presented me with many challenges that I've had to face. I graduated high school with only a 2.8 GPA, and I wanted to do really well in college, but I struggled in the beginning because I didn't know how to manage and prioritize all of my tasks. So today's discussion is really focused on the importance of talking about ADHD and its impact on the daily lives for young adults and everyone, honestly. For fostering understanding, reducing the stigma behind it, and ensuring that the people affected by their struggles with ADHD receive the support that they need to navigate their daily lives effectively. Okay, so a quick little overview before we start. ADHD, attention deficit / hyperactivity disorder, is a condition that makes it hard for people to focus, stay organized, and control their impulses. And it doesn't just affect children. It can affect adults as well. So before we really dive into this episode, I want to throw 10 misconceptions at you so that you can get these out of your head and open your mind up so that we can really dive into today's episode, because I do truly want to provide you guys with tips and resources today. So the first misconception, it's just a childhood disorder. No. 2, it's just about hyperactivity. No. Many individuals with ADHD primarily struggle with inattention, not hyperactivity. 3, ADHD is a result of poor parenting. I'm feeling like Batman right now. I don't really have my parents. ADHD is instead a neurodevelopmental disorder with biological and genetic factors, not how your parents raised you. 4, people with ADHD can't focus at all. That's not true. Many successful people, many CEOs have ADHD. The challenge behind having ADHD often lies in maintaining and focusing in those less engaging tasks. 5 is that it's overdiagnosed. BS, underdiagnosed as fuck. 6, medication is a quick fix. That's not true at all. Medication is not a cure. You're the one that has to do the work. And say you have an Adderall. That's not going to finish the homework for you. You're the one that still has to do the work. 7, people with ADHD are lazy or unmotivated. That's just not true at all. It's just very hard to focus during those mundane tasks. 8, all symptoms are the same. Not true. 9, ADHD is not a real disorder. Definitely is. 10, people with ADHD don't care about their performance. Well, I just told you I struggled with ADHD my entire life, and all I care about really is my performance. There's 3 different types of ADHD that you can have, and if you don't already know what they are, the first one is the predominantly inattentive presentation. The second is the predominantly hyperactive, impulsive presentation. And the third is exactly what you would think it is. It's the combination of both inattention and hyperactivity/impulsivity. I am diagnosed with the combined presentation. And if you think that ADHD isn't common, you are more than wrong, because ADHD is quite common. It affects millions and millions of people worldwide. It's estimated that around 5 to 10% of children and about 2 to 5% of adults have it. But as I said earlier, I do think that ADHD is undiagnosed as, yeah. And having ADHD can feel so isolating, especially if the people that are around you in your environment don't understand your experiences and what you're going through. So it's important to remember that although having ADHD at times can feel so isolating, many people around the world are sharing similar struggles to you. And it's so hard when it feels isolating, because half the time, at least for me, it feels like I'm feeling that way because of the societal expectations that are placed on us in regards to focus and productivity. Because society often emphasizes that we are measured by what we achieve and what we can do. Our culture says that you have to stay on at all times. You have to be turned on. No Diddy, my bad. We have crazy technology where others think that we have to be available 24/7. There's an expectation to be reachable and responsive at all times, and this can affect our work and personal lives. This is why we need to set boundaries. We're in a time of hustle culture that glorifies long hours and relentless work. Again, saying to us that we are measured by our productivity. We are measured by our success, by the visible output, such as your completed tasks or the hours worked, rather than your quality of work and how you prioritize your well-being. We focus so much on perfectionism, and we compare ourselves to other people, when comparison is the thief of joy. And I just think we overall neglect our mental health for the sake of producing. But ADHD is something that challenges traditional views on focus, because I know that I'm somebody, and everybody else with ADHD is probably the same as well. We have focus variability. The traditional expectation is that you have to sustain your focus over long periods of time. And sometimes that just is not possible. As someone with ADHD, maybe you have to break up how much time you spend on stuff, and on different days. Task initiation can be another thing that just seems impossible. And the traditional view is that productivity often assumes that motivation and willpower are sufficient enough for you to be able to start something, when that might not be the case for someone with ADHD. It's not that simple. Traditional views on time management prioritize strict schedules, and people with ADHD don't really have that time frame. And other places that other people go to focus might not be good places for somebody with ADHD to be productive. But the traditional view is that everyone should be able to be productive in environments designed where you're supposed to be productive, like libraries. But somebody with ADHD might not be able to adhere to that environment. And I know, as somebody who already went through college, there's always people in the library that, goof around and make it difficult for you to focus at times. So there might be these places that are designed to help you be productive, but they might not work for everyone. Hyperfocus is another thing that people with ADHD experience, and the traditional view is that your productivity should be consistent. When I'm hyper-focused, I could sit down and get work done all freaking day long. But that's not sustainable every single day. I have other things that I need to do. Going back to hyperfocus, I really want to dive into this topic really quick because, man, I have such a love-hate relationship with hyperfocus. Hyperfocus is a phenomenon often associated with ADHD where someone becomes so intensely absorbed in a specific task or activity for an extended period. And it's also a complete paradox. You can be so intensely concentrated on something that you are doing, and you can be more productive than you were at any other time. But you can also have difficulty shifting your attention to something else. You get too emotionally engaged and invested into what you're doing, and this can honestly make you lose your awareness of the time passing. So I have a love-hate relationship with hyperfocus because it's a double-edged sword. You can get a lot done, but you can also create a lot of challenges for yourself. If you want some practical tips for improving focus and productivity, first, I want to let you know that it's not going to look the same for everyone, but you do need some time management techniques. Like to block off time in college, I started using the Pomodoro technique, which is a 25-minute timer. And then after 25 minutes of you doing work is done, you have either a 5, 10, or like 15-minute break. So I utilized that so that I could block off time to get my schoolwork done. I used sticky notes to prioritize work and my tasks so that I didn't forget them when I thought about them, before the due date passed or before I got a 0 on something. And another thing that I learned in college from my friend JQ is the 2-minute rule. If it takes less than 2 minutes, then do it now. Also, you need to create structured environments for yourself. So for me, I have these noise-canceling headphones. That's why I'm wearing one on one ear and the other behind the other, because it sounds so freaking weird when I hear myself with both of them on. So I like to hear what's going on around me. Now, this is a structured environment for me so that I can focus. And also, if I'm doing like schoolwork or anything like that and I want to focus and be mindful, I put on frequencies in the background so that I can actually focus on something else around me. I utilize apps and reminders and technology. Google Calendar and Task have been my best friend for life in the past 4, 5, 6 years because, oh my God, it makes it so easy to prioritize and manage all of my tasks just in that app alone. I also have reminders to go off throughout the day to remind me about certain things like 9 p.m., taking my meds. I also want to stress the importance to you guys of taking breaks and practicing and prioritizing your self-care routine, because doing these things will restore your energy. When you give a break to yourself, you're giving a break to your mind and your body, giving it a chance to recharge, to boost your overall productivity when you come back to whatever task you're doing. It also increases your creativity. There's so much psychology behind this, and I won't dive deep into it right now, but when you step away from a task, it can lead to a fresh perspective and new ideas when you return. It can improve your concentration. Like I just said, you're giving your mind and your body a short break, which can help sustain your attention and improve your concentration, making it easier for you to engage in your task for long periods of time, even if they're difficult. Stepping away, taking a break, and practicing self-care can also reduce your stress. Exercising, mindfulness, things that I talk about in many, many episodes can help manage your stress, leading to better focus and emotional resilience for when you're doing hard things. It also encourages better decision-making. You have to take time to care for yourself because it leads to clearer thinking and more effective problem solving. So again, you can do hard things. And honestly, you may even be someone who relies on therapy and medication to be able to focus. And there is absolutely nothing wrong with that, because I'm someone that needs therapy and medications to manage my ADHD. I'm someone that struggles with my decreased productivity, my increased inattention, and increased hyperactivity when I'm off my meds, which is something that I'm experiencing right now. I'm seeing a therapist, but I'm off my medications. So I'm seeing less productivity, I'm seeing more hyperactivity and more inattention. So it's requiring me to manage my ADHD much better right now. First of all, therapy. Cognitive behavioral therapy, something that you've probably heard about many times. If not, I'm going to tell you right now. This helps you cope with strategies, improve your organization, and manage your impulsive symptoms. And it also focuses on challenging those negative thought patterns that you've built up over time, those negative behaviors that you've built over time, to hopefully break through them to increase your productivity. Behavioral therapy. You're reinforcing your positive behaviors and reducing your negative ones through both rewards and consequences. This is more appropriate for children, because if you don't work in the space or you don't have children of your own, you know that children love rewards. Psychoeducation. When you educate someone or their family and friends about ADHD, it can enhance their understanding, reduce the stigma, and improve communication between the one that's affected by it and the people that are around them. Skill building. Therapists can help develop practical skills like time management, organization strategies, and social skills. So when people say that therapy doesn't do anything, I mean, in a way, you're right. Therapy isn't the thing that's doing something. You are. When you go to a therapist, you might not necessarily have to go there to cry and get out every single thing that you're feeling inside. Maybe you're going there to learn new skills to therefore help you improve your mental health. You also may need a support group, connecting with other people who have ADHD, being able to have that emotional support and share common strategies used for coping with ADHD and struggling with tasks. And then lastly, the medication piece. It doesn't matter if you're on a stimulant, a non-stimulant. Your medication is not a cure. So just because you're on meds, it doesn't mean that the meds are what's doing the work. No, meds are changing the way that your brain is wired so that you can work more effectively and be more productive. That's you doing the work. It's not the medication doing the work. I mean, in a way, it's the medication doing the work, because it's changing your hormones, and it's changing your the wiring of your brain, but you, at the end of the day, are the one doing the work. So that's what I want you to remember about being on or off medication. Stimulants, like, for example, amphetamines, could be prescribed for ADHD. These are things that only help increase focus, attention, and impulsive control by enhancing the effects of certain neurotransmitters in your brain. They aren't doing the work for you. Same thing with non-stimulants. There's options like atomoxetine, which I take. I don't know if that's TMI, but I do take that. And it can also be effective. Well, drugs like it can also be effective, especially for individuals who may not respond well to stimulants or experience side effects. At the end of the day, if you're taking medications, it's an individualized approach, because the right medication at the right dosage requires you to closely collaborate with your healthcare provider to find out what is most effective, because the responses for taking these medications will vary by the individual. But my biggest thing is, if you're taking medications, I really hope that you're also in therapy as well. I think that you can be in therapy and not take medications, but I don't think that it's smart to take medications and not be in therapy. The combined approach when you're taking medications, I find, and research finds, to be most effective. That provides the best outcomes for you going forward. But ultimately, the best approach to managing your ADHD is going to depend on you and your circumstances. Let's talk about the role of community in regards to struggling with ADHD. Your emotional support. Your emotional support means so much when you're struggling with ADHD. Your friends and your family can provide you with understanding and empathy, helping you feel less isolated when you are experiencing these feelings. This emotional connection can reduce your anxiety and improve your overall well-being, and make it easier for you to be productive and engage in tasks that you want to do and don't want to do. This support network is your accountability. And I think this part is so important too, because I have so much piled on my plate and I really struggle with ADHD, but my friends and my support network keep me accountable for my goals and what I commit myself to. They even check up on me to see how I'm doing in regards to my progress, which helps motivate me to stay on track and chase everything that I'm dreaming. They provide me with practical assistance with my organization and planning, and helping me with reminders, breaking down tasks that I need to do, workouts, how to write a paper, providing me with certain structured environments that can help me enhance my focus. The people around me share their strategies. I have mentors and peers with ADHD that share with me how they cope, what the tools that they use and the techniques that they find to be useful, offering me new perspectives and solutions that I may not have thought about before. They encourage me, especially my friends and my family. They encourage me during really, really challenging times in my life and remind me how strong I am. They remind me to celebrate my successes, no matter how small that they are. And this boosts my confidence and overall self-esteem. They reduce the stigma, which helps me reach out into the community to help reduce the stigma associated with ADHD, because I want to foster an environment where individuals feel safe to share their experiences and challenges, because by doing that, we're going to help other people who are struggling and just build such an empowering community. With my mentors and my friends as well, we share resources. I love sharing books with people. Like, that's one of my favorite things to do. That's a love language, honestly. Journal articles, different support groups. There's so many run clubs now, and all of these things can aid in our own individual understanding and management of our ADHD. Because, just coping with these challenges can be very, very hard. So having the support network can help you navigate the challenges of having ADHD. I know that with my emotional support network, they're helping me build my resilience, because they're encouraging me to have a growth mindset and encouraging me to learn from my setbacks rather than feeling defeated by them. Everything is a part of the process. But again, I do want you guys to realize how important it is to advocate for yourself in the educational or workplace setting. Guys, I think self-advocacy, if you're struggling with your ADHD, is crucial, especially, again, in the educational and workplace settings. So I'm going to give you guys some tips for advocating for yourself really quick. So if you're a K through 12 student, the tips that I have for you are: communicate with your teachers. You should be able to talk to them about what you're currently struggling with or what you're being challenged by. And you can say this simply to them after class, or if you're able to have your teacher alone for a moment, you can go up to them and say, I find it hard to focus in class. Can we work together on strategies? It could be that simple. And use a support system. If you have parents that are involved or a guardian that can advocate for accommodations with school staff, then present this to your parent or guardian. They can overall help initiate a meeting with your teacher. As a student, you can learn to ask for specific accommodations if you need them, such as extended period time on tests or being able to find a quiet space to work in, because I know how hectic K through 12 classrooms can be. You might just need a space where you're able to properly focus. Rely on visual schedules, checklists, and timers so that you can stay organized and manage your task effectively. You should be able to express when you need help, whether you are asking for clarification or you need a break. Set goals with your teacher. Make them achievable. And if you have an IEP, then maybe you as a student can sit in on a meeting for your IEP, giving you a voice in your education. Because yes, you may be young, but you still are able to voice your opinion on what you want to happen in your life. If you're a college student, connect with disability services. You can register with the campus disability service office to discuss their needs and request accommodations. Communicate with your professors. Your professors are there to help you succeed, not to help you fail, but you're the one that's in charge of your grades at the end of the day. So rely on your professors early in the semester to discuss challenges and specific needs that you have, such as, again, extended deadlines or alternative formats that you can have for different assignments. You have to rely on self-advocacy skills in undergraduate, because undergraduate is hard. You need to be able to articulate your needs confidently and understand what accommodations would help you succeed. And build a support network in college. This is one of the biggest tips that I can provide you with. I had such a huge support network in college, and as a result, I was able to get so much done. Whether that's a study group, connections with your peers, connections with faculty, staff, people who understand the challenges that you're going through and are able to foster a supportive environment for you. Time management is underrated, and you need to be working on your time management techniques every single day. Use planners, apps, timers, breaks, and use all of these with the goal of maintaining focus and being able to be productive so that you can get your stuff done. Stay informed about how to manage your ADHD and effective strategies that you could use to manage it and be successful. And empower the other people around you to advocate for themselves. If you're in college, there's workshops going on, so participate in them. There's workshops that are focused on studying skills and time management, and you can really, really benefit from attending these to build your self-advocacy skills and your management skills. And maybe you need to create an action plan for yourself. Develop some sort of personalized plan that you can use that outlines your goals, different strategies that you can use, and necessary accommodations that you might need in different settings so that you can have a roadmap for success. Because yes, you can have these accommodations in college, but you get outside into the real world and now you have a big boy job or a big girl job. Maybe you need accommodations in that workspace as well, because there's deadlines in the workforce, in the work field. So have this plan so that when you get out, you know how to communicate with whatever you're doing afterwards, whether that's going back into education in your master's or your doctorate or into the workplace setting, so that you know how to go down the road of success for yourself. Because self-advocacy is so important when managing your ADHD or struggling with your ADHD, whatever it is. Self-advocacy is important in so many aspects of our life. So, guys, I hope today you were able to sort of understand ADHD and its impact on focus, the myths and misconceptions behind ADHD, and hopefully you got some strategies for managing distractions and enhancing your productivity. I want to encourage you guys today to embrace your unique strengths. You are who you are for a reason, and managing your ADHD is going to look different for absolutely everybody, and that's okay. You're your own person, and you have every right to be. If you enjoyed this episode or you found it useful, you can leave me a 5-star review if you feel so daring. That would be amazing to me. I would greatly appreciate that. Subscribe to the channel so that I can keep dropping these. And if you want to reach out to me about certain episode topics or what you enjoyed, you can always message me on the Down Bada Podcast Instagram. And if you can, please donate to my fundraiser, because I'm running the Philadelphia Marathon in 38 days with Team Active Minds to promote and spread awareness for mental health, especially for young adults. Any donation could mean the world to me. So thank you guys so much for supporting me in this journey. And lastly, thank you guys for listening to today's episode. I got a longer one in today. I'm feeling really, really good about podcasting. I love the space that I'm currently in, and I'm so glad to be talking to you guys again in video. Next week, I'm going to talk about how to keep going when times get tough. And again, if you guys wanted to connect on my social medias, my Instagram is Jodi MF Johnson, and in my bio is my link tree with all my links where you can find quite literally everything that I'm involved with. So, yeah, thank you guys for being here. I will see you guys next week. Bye-bye.